Hey you guys, welcome to Consume the Goodness. My name is Kendra. I'm a certified lifestyle and weight management coach, and this channel combines healthy lifestyle with God's Word. Today is going to be a little bit different. Normally on Tuesday, this would be a time for me to do a live stream. I am not going to do a live stream on Tuesday. Obviously, this is what I'm going to be doing. So I don't know how long this will be. It's not going to take an entire hour like a normal live stream would, but it's just a little bit of a longer talk. And I thought really seriously about doing this as a live stream, but then I decided against it because I just don't know where my energy level is going to be. It's not even that great right now, but I want to be able to get all of this out and get the encouragement out. And that might mean chopping this up a little bit, which is fine, but I know for sure I'm not able to chop up a live stream. You know, I can't edit. I can't be like, oh, hold on, and then a few hours later come back. So I'm just going to make dinner and talk to you guys. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to hang out. I appreciate you guys for being here. I apologize for it not being an actual live stream because I know that in actually being able to engage is it's nice. It's nice to be able to do that and to have someone talking to you like in real time. But for right now, this is just what we're going to be doing for tonight. But okay, let's talk a little bit about what's going on. So I finally know what's wrong with me. And there's not even that something is wrong. I just know what's going on now. And as much as it freaking sucks, anybody who's been here for a little while knows that even when things really suck for me, I try to make it a point to talk about it in my videos, to try to give encouragement through that, because it's really easy. I know this, and I know that the people who are watching the channel know that it's really easy to talk about things and be super encouraging when things are going really great. But what about when they suck? So I try to make sure, I don't do it every time things are hard for me or for my family or anything like that, but I do make sure that I at least do it sometimes. This is one of those times. But the reason why I like to do that is not for attention, not so people can be like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for her, nothing like that. More for hope, I guess, to give hope and to be an encourager. That is all I want to be. I want to be an encourager. I want to be a light for Jesus. So in trying to give encouragement while I am smack dab in the middle of something that sucks, I feel like that can be really helpful to just kind of show that, at least this is the feedback that I've gotten in comments over the years, that it's nice to see that even when you're going through a hard time, you still take time and effort to try to encourage all of us. And I hope that that is what you guys see this as, because that's what it is. Okay, so some of you guys know, if you have been around for a little bit, that over the summer, I had a horrible rash appear in July. And I did a video on it, I did a few videos about it actually, just kind of showing what it was and how crappy it was, and talked about the symptoms of it. Can eating just like pure carnivore make it go away? All these different things. So if you guys know, you know. And if you don't know, then I can make sure to link those videos in the description in case you care. But that was all just very, it kind of just came on. And there were a lot of different things. Even the 2 doctors that I saw, they didn't know why it was there or what exactly it was, what caused it. So it was just very much like, this is going to have to go away on its own. Whatever this is, it's got to go away all by itself. That rash lasted for, I don't know, like somewhere around 5 months, 4 or 5 months. And there were things that I was experiencing while that rash was happening. I thought it was just the rash. I thought it was just my medical stuff being worse because of the rash, which I do believe that is still part of it. But now that I know, now that I've, anyway, okay, okay, well, I don't know. Basically, I'm in menopause. I was trying to think of some way to like slide into this thing to say that's what's actually happening. That from what we are guessing, because now I know. So talking to a doctor, it's like, so do I need to have blood work done, you know, to like check my levels, my hormone levels or whatever? And Apparently doctors really don't do that. They really don't say, oh yeah, you're in menopause because of a blood test. It's more based off of symptoms and timeline. Mine is a little bit different. In 2014, I had my fallopian tubes removed because after discussing things and after very high risk pregnancies because of my medical conditions, it was like, we need to probably do something to really keep you, because I'm very fertile. Even being on birth control pills, I still was pregnant. I have 4 freaking kids, for goodness sake. So my doctor, my OBGYN at the time, removed my fallopian tubes. That was in 2014. In 2018, I had a hysterectomy. Everything was removed except, okay, warning. If anybody that gets like squeamish about things, this might not be the video for you. And I totally understand if you don't want to watch it. If it's like, oh, this is like too much information, this grosses me out, whatever. But I've worked in the medical field for so long, so there's that part of it, that just talking about this stuff is just kind of like stuff to me, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But then also, even my dad, my husband, my father-in-law, they have a like maturity about them that I'm sure most of you guys do as well, that talking about stuff like this, you know, going out and buying tampons for your daughter, or, you know, any type of girly issues, it doesn't like gross you out or anything, because you just have an understanding that who cares, it's a part of life. Women go through things, men go through things, kids go through things, like we all have things, and so it's kind of whatever. So if you're that person, then that's great. I'm just going to be talking about this because it is uncomfortable for me. So there's that. I want to push myself out of my comfort zone, but that I know it's stuff that other people go through, and that this can also be related to things that don't have to do with menopause, and that I do have encouragement in it. And so that's the main thing. Before I get to the encouragement part, I have to get through the crappy part. So that's what's going on. Personal stuff happening. Okay. All right. So I had everything removed, hysterectomy wise, back to that. Everything removed except for my cervix. I kept that. I wanted to keep it. I requested to keep that in there, and the doctor said, yeah, that's fine. That was in 2018. I have not had a period for a lot of years, okay? So I guess I could answer some questions. If anybody is watching this, or they're like, you are too young for that. Like, you seem way too young to be in menopause right now. So there must be something else. No, I'm 37, first of all, so that's not ridiculously young to be in it. But also, because of my medical conditions and because of having the hysterectomy, it's normal for me to start to be in menopause at an earlier age than I guess most people would be, like in their 40s or 50s. That is, now the question is answered. What the heck is going on? Because that's what I've been wondering for months. I mean, I already have a lot of things. I already have a lot of symptoms that I deal with just because of the dysautonomia, POTS, inappropriate sinus tachycardia, neurocardiogenic syncope, post-concussion syndrome, tinnitus, a little bit of hearing loss. Like, I have a pretty good list of things. And in all of that, they all have symptoms of their own. So when some of these things were popping up before, like months and months ago, I just figured it was all because of that. When it was getting worse, I figured it was because of the rash, because my body was dealing with the stress of the rash and the fact that I really wasn't sleeping. It all, I felt like, was from that. And then, where am I going to go with this? Okay, this is all basically like what I was saying. This might be all over the place because I don't have notes or anything like I normally would to try to keep me on track. I'm just talking and cooking, so we're just kind of hanging out. So what I was saying, like with the doctor, so apparently, because my question was, I just assumed I'm going to have some labs done, but the answer was no. We're going to go off of your medical history, your timeline, when was your last period. Obviously, that was like 7 years ago or something crazy like that, so there's that part of it. But then symptoms and how long they've been lasting and what they are like. Looking through all of this stuff, that's when it was determined, like, yeah, you're in menopause. I thought it would be perimenopause, but then from what I understand, it's just, I'm straight up in menopause because usually the thing that differentiates between, oh, it's perimenopause or actual menopause, it's because you haven't had a period for 12 months or more. Well, I haven't for way past that. So that is why it's like, yeah, you're just in menopause, and that this can last for years. Oh, I don't want it. Oh gosh. I'm trying to think, you guys. I don't even know what I was just talking about. I guess just the symptoms and the rash, and just being very like, what is going on? Why is everything seemed to really change when that rash happened? And apparently, or what the guess is that at that moment last summer, that's when my hormones like really started to change. A ridiculous shift. Like, that's when it really kicked in. And that was part of it. My body was reacting to it. I guess itchingness, like intense itching, severe, whatever, different skin issues can happen at that time, so that's probably what that was. But then also, ever since then, I've been like, what is happening? Why is everything so different? My hair changed. My skin changed. It's still not what it was. It's way more dry than it has ever been, ever. I know that it's super cold and everything this winter, but we've been through really cold winters before, and my skin has never been this way. My weight, I'm carrying it differently. It's like being stored differently. I don't know. So these are all different things that I'm like spitting out there. All these different symptoms, things that are different. I still can't sleep. I'm super tired, but I'm up at night. Or when I do finally fall asleep, I'm waking up all throughout the night. I just cannot. So insomnia, ridiculous amount of fatigue. Sometimes I have a pretty decent energy, but it's not like, go to bed, wake up, feel good, whatever. That is not a thing. Oh, I'm trying to think of the other things that I was saying. My headaches are different. Things are just different. I've had headaches before. I've had migraines before. That got worse after the severe concussion that I had. But lately, like in the past several months, they are different. They feel different. They're like in different areas. The intensity is different. So my headaches are different, skin, hair. Oh yeah, and then also that it's really hard for me to lose weight now. Normally things that I would do like, okay, seriously, I need to like kick this into high gear. I've always lost weight at a pretty slow pace. But after the rash went away, I have done things that normally I would just be like, okay, I'm back on track now. Like doing only beef and butter for a few days, or just eggs for a few days, eggs and butter. None of that's doing anything really. And I've just been very confused. Like, why isn't this stuff working? How come I have the weight gain? Okay, yeah, I gained like 15 pounds after that rash started, and I'm still like stuck here no matter what I do, the walking, the whatever. So there's that. I'm just trying to throw all of these crappy things out there, you guys. Not so you feel sorry for me, just to paint a clear picture. Let me just try to go through all the symptoms, okay, that I've had. Some things I have had a lot. That's just with my other medical stuff, so I'm not going to include that. I just want to include the stuff that has been more intense, and just basically since last summer is when it really started to get worse, and everything's just gradually getting worse and worse and worse, and things are piling on. Like more recently, my freaking boobs hurt. I'm like, why? It feels like I'm pregnant. My boobs hurt. My sleep is jacked up. I'm super tired. My brain fog is way worse. My clumsiness is way worse. I'm nauseous. Like, I really don't have an appetite. I haven't changed the way that I eat. It's not like I haven't changed the way that I eat. I've actually gotten more strict with the way that I eat, and my weight is pretty much the same. It's also making my already existing medical stuff worse. So shortness of breath, heart palpitations, feeling like anxious, that type of thing. That stuff, which was way reduced in 2021 when I changed how I was eating, all that stuff is kind of creeping back. It's all just kind of more intense again. Then you have, your typical like hot flashes and stuff like that, which is so strange for me. I don't feel like myself. I'm always cold. And for me to have moments where I am like, oh my gosh, like get the covers off, take this off, take my pants off, take my socks off, something, because it's so freaking hot. And then like 10 minutes later, I'm freezing cold again, so I'm covering back up. But the fact that I'm just hot, that is very out of character. It's just weird for me. Noticing that I have to like battle when something is difficult instead of having like a really optimistic outlook, that is not me. Naturally, I guess I should say, or it is now. But things that were a lot easier, you know, really stressful things, a lot of chaotic little things going on, and just being like, whatever, you know, okay, that's the problem, let's tackle it, let's take care of it, and everything's going to be good. It's like harder, it's a struggle for me to have that now. I still have it, but it's like I have to stop myself, take a deep breath, and realize, okay, something inside of me feels very different. Like I feel an agitation, or a lot of my emotions are just different, and it sucks because I don't have any reason to have that. Like feeling super depressed and wanting to cry, like very emotional. I have feelings of like irritation inside and like, oh, just, but it stays very inward, thank God. I am making sure to not let that come out. Now the crying, I can't help it. The tears just start falling. I'm just crying or feeling really sad. I space out a lot more now. I feel depressed, but it's just such an awkward, strange feeling to feel sad and depressed and irritated when you aren't that. It's weird to feel something and not be that something. I'm not depressed. I'm not really sad. I'm not angry. But I feel all of these things, and it makes me feel like a crazy person. So there are a lot of different things. There are a lot of also other symptoms that I've been dealing with that I won't go into every single, struggle or detail of all the symptoms of menopause. I mean, I don't have every single thing that anybody could ever have. Like, I guess having a lot of joint pain is part of it, and like low libido and dryness and stuff. I do not have any of that. I would find it hard to have any of that. My husband has on very numerous occasions compared me to a teenage boy. I don't fully understand because obviously I'm not a dude, but is this too personal? I'll move on. Like I was saying, I won't go into every single symptom, every single whatever. I will say though that when people talk about this phase of life, anytime I think it's one of those things, it's like you're just not going to be prepared for it. Just wait till it actually happens, because it's so different. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, menopause, hot flashes, night sweats, insomnia, you don't have a period, you're tired, and you have mood swings. Okay. This is so much more intense than just some symptoms. Which, now that I'm saying this, I feel like I should have known better, because the medical conditions that I have, it is seriously like a huge sack of crappy symptoms. And they really mess with your quality of life. So when you hear it, it just sounds like, oh yeah, that sucks. Man, it would suck to like get hot. It would suck to cry and get emotional, and it would suck to feel these things. But I will say now, living it is very different and than what I expected, and it's way worse than what I expected. I didn't know that I was going to feel like a stranger inside of my own skin, which is what I feel like sometimes, because most of you guys probably know this already, whether you've been on this channel since it started in 2021 or you just started watching, a few months ago. I feel like it's pretty clear to see that I have hopefully my personality comes across in my videos, in my channel at all, altogether. That I am more the like brighter side, optimist. How can we look at this as a good thing? It happened for a reason, and there's something good that's going to come out of this, and bubbly, and that is my like natural self. I'm not like that 24/7. I'm not saying that. Like, I never get irritated about something or anything like that. Like, I am not a robot. But this is like a battle inside because I want to just like lay in bed. I don't want to do anything. The motivation level is way low. And the natural, you know, like I'm always singing, I'm always dancing, I'm always making up songs through the house about anything. And the house is a lot quieter lately, and as it gets more and more, as the weeks have gone on, the house has gotten more and more quiet, I will say, because I don't have that all the time, like as often as I used to. And that sucks for me even. And my kids have told me, and my husband, like, man, it's kind of sad. You know, it's kind of sad when you're not doing that. Because if you're not doing that, that means you must be feeling, you know, some kind of way. So that makes us sad. That makes me sad too. I don't want to not have that. So there is encouragement in this, I promise. And I apologize for crying. I mean, I can't help it. It just keeps happening. So this feeling of feeling like a stranger in my own skin sometimes, and it's not all the time. I'm not walking around the house with a box of tissues crying all the time, and I never laugh and I never whatever. But I will say that a lot of effort is having to be put in, and this is where the encouragement part is going to come in. Because even if you're not going through menopause, even if you're a guy and you're going through something else, I feel like this encouragement can be for anything. I'm using this specific moment, this time in my life right now as an example because it's happening right now. It's in the moment. And so hopefully I'm getting I want it to come across loudly. I don't know if that part makes sense, what I just said, but I just happen to be using this. There's a video that I did a couple years ago where I opened up a bit about my medical conditions and what it was like as a mom, what it was like as a wife. And I try to do encouragement through that. This is kind of one of those where I'm opening up about something that's happening, but it can apply in so many different areas. If you're struggling to provide for your family, you've got medical stuff going on, if you have financial stuff going on, if you have relationship stuff going on, like whatever it is that might be making you feel kind of the way that I'm feeling, where your emotions are different and you're noticing that a lot of effort has to be put into not letting all of those emotions completely take over, because you don't want to be walking around like a complete butt. I'll say that. I feel like this can really be applied to anything that you might be going through, any hard thing that you might be facing. Maybe I should have written some things down. Anyway, just relate it, connect it in any way that you can. And hopefully, even if you can't yet, maybe as I'm doing the more encouraging part, that you'll be able to take something, just have a takeaway, a good takeaway. So I'm going to give you some examples. I seriously feel like I am at war with myself. I won't even say with myself, maybe with menopause. I am at war with this menopause. I should name it. No, I won't. Okay, that's weird. And that I am choosing so much about you guys' perspective and choice. The things that we think, what we choose to do, it matters big time. It really matters. So even though it's really hard, and what I really want to do, I will give today as an example. Today is Sunday the 26th. I did not want to do anything today. I wanted to lay on the couch. I wanted to just play video games. I wanted to get back in bed. My motivation was at 0. I wanted to do nothing. And I felt very blah. No emotion on my face. No emotion really inside that I was feeling. I was just I don't like it at all. Almost did. I started to take my shoes off because I was about to crawl my butt back in bed. But I decided not to. I chose. When I got up, instead of walking towards the bed, I chose, even though it was hard and I kind of had to be a little bit of it was a little fight in that, split moment, I walked the opposite way. I grabbed the vacuum cleaner and I started to just clean. I just started to clean stuff. I didn't clean the entire house, but I did get up and clean, and then I sat down for a while and I felt just really spaced out and really like, oh my gosh, I feel like I just ran a marathon and all I did was clean a little bit, but I still did something. So I didn't completely push myself, but I did push myself. I didn't push myself to the point of feeling like I'm going to pass out, like to the point of now rolling into my existing medical conditions that I have and then making that worse and then passing out and then having to deal with all that. So I didn't push myself to that point, but I did push myself to just do something. I'm not saying that that's what I'm going to do all the time, every single day, no matter what, because there have been days over the past several months that I grab a blanket, I grab a pillow, I lay on the couch and I watch movies all day long. This is not brand new stuff. It's brand new for you guys. But the things that I've been feeling, it's not brand new. They are just more severe in the past, 2 to 4 weeks, I'll say. It's just gradually getting more and more intense and severe. And so, but the way that I've been feeling the past couple weeks, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use this as encouragement for this channel. Like, instead of letting it get me down, I'm going to use it for good somehow. And so that's hopefully what I'm doing here. So yeah, there are going to be days that I don't. There are going to be days that I'm like, I just want to sit. I just want to lay down. And I'm going to do it. But I'm not going to let that completely take over. I'm not going to do it all the time. I'm going to make sure it's an occasional thing, like I have been doing for the past several months. It's just going to be a little bit more work to put my mindset on. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow myself to just lay around. I'm not going to, because it's not good for my own physical and mental health, but that's also not good for my kids and my husband. For them to see that or maybe take from it, I don't want that. I'm being open about the way that I feel with everybody so they understand, so that if I am kind of blah or I seem really bummed out, it's not because there's anything wrong. Nobody did anything. Nothing happened. I just feel the way that I feel for this point in time right now. And they're all very understanding and sweet about it. But so that's one of the parts or example, I guess, for encouragement that even if you feel like you're in a full-blown war with yourself or with a situation that you're facing or whatever, to keep fighting. Don't just surrender to whatever it is that you're dealing with and let it win. Don't be defeated by those things. And I know I'm pretty sure I just used this Bible verse in my last video, but I love it so much. The world brings you a lot of trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. All of these things that we're facing, we are held. And just to remember that as children of God, we are held, and we aren't doing this alone. So I'm not fighting this alone. Inside, when my flesh is just completely depleted and defeated feeling, my spirit is holding me up strong and holding me up and saying, nope, you're not defeated. I rest when I need to, but I also, when I don't want to, when I don't feel like it, when I'm just like ridiculously fatigued, which is every day, I still will make myself get up and do things, and it kind of sucks. Okay, yesterday, I'll use yesterday as another example. I feel like I want to cut this so short, but I'm trying to remember that this is like replacing a live stream, so it's okay if it's a little bit longer. It's okay to have videos that are a little bit longer. Anyway, yesterday, which was Saturday the 25th, for my walk video that I did, I almost just gave up on that. I got onto the walking pad, start walking, and then I just stopped it and walked right back off. And then I sat back down at my computer. I'm like, no. So I'm like, okay, I'll just find music again, put it back on, get back on there and walk. I did that 4 times before I actually stayed on the dang walking pad. I wanted to just not. I wanted to sit there. I wanted to shut my computer down and come back upstairs and lay on the couch or lay in bed or just to do nothing at all. But I hope there's encouragement in that too, that even if you get up and you go back down, whatever your situation is, get on the walking pad and then step off the walking pad and then get back on it and step back off. Even if you have to do that a few times before it sticks, then do that. I felt better after I walked. Mentally, I felt better. I was really tired, but I felt good about the fact that I just went ahead and did it. And then when I post that stuff and you guys leave the comments that you leave, and you guys are like cheering me on, supporting me, encouraging me throughout this whole walk challenge, it means so much. And when I've been saying that, because obviously I've been knowing what's going on, or I've been knowing how I feel. I didn't know exactly what it was until recently. So when you guys are cheering me on and everything through this walk challenge, it to me isn't just you're like cheering me on with the walking. It's so much more than that, and it's so much more helpful than you guys even know. It was really hard, and I could have been like, ugh, I've gotten up on this thing and stepped down 3 times already. I'm not getting back up there just to step back down again. That could have been my mindset. Or I could have chosen to look at it like, okay, I keep getting back up. I just need to stay. Like, I keep getting down, yeah, but I also keep standing back up. So I'm going to stay up. Like, let's try one more time to stay up. I hope that encourages you and motivates you somehow, that whatever you might be facing now or something in the future, maybe this will pop into your head, that it's hard to stand back up. It's hard to stand up at all sometimes. But to know that if we keep trying, it pays off. It's worth it. And also just to remember that we're not in it alone. We're not fighting this alone. This is not by my strength. If it was just me alone, my strength, I would just be in bed all the time. I am having such a hard time. I feel like I'm full of lead. I guess that's a way to picture it. That I feel so just weighed down, emotionally and physically and mentally. But spiritually, I'm not weighed down. I am lifted up and being made stronger. And also something else is that this is a change. And when I think about all the times that major changes have happened in life, all of these things that they're uncomfortable in the middle, it's awkward, but it's all part of this process. And we come out more built up, I guess, is the way that I'm picturing in my head after that process. In these changes, change doesn't have to be bad, is maybe what I'm trying to say. It can be really good, and the process, as uncomfortable as it can be be an awesome thing. I'm trying to think of when like really hard things are okay. Like for me, so think of something for you that really is like big for you. For me, the first thing that pops into my head is basketball. Basketball practice and basketball games, especially tournaments or when you play against a team that's really, really good. The fight, the game, or the practice, so pushing really hard, running hard, lifting hard, practicing, shooting, all of it. It's a physical fight, it's a mental fight, it's an emotional fight. As hard as it is during practice, when it's like on the line, suicides, and you have to keep going and going and going, and right after that, all right, back to the drill. And if somebody messes up, get back on the line. It is hard. You want to just like collapse, but still there's something that's like, I love this. I don't know, whatever your thing might be or may have been, where it's really hard, practice is hard, pushing really hard through the games, the ups and downs emotionally, the wins and the losses and all the whatever. Coach lifting you up, coach coming down on you. It's a lot, but it's good too. It's enjoyable and it feels good because it's like, man, this sucks, but it's making me better. I'm stronger after this. I'm like more prepared now for the next game. I'm more prepared for the next time this type of thing happens in a game or during a practice or whatever. We are being molded. We are becoming more fit through all of these really hard things that we're doing. Even video games, if you think about it. Any of you guys who might really love to play games, whether it's like a really intense, like creepy game or a really, you know, like bright, colorful Sonic or Mario type game. There are still levels that you just die and die and die. You just keep dying, and it's like, oh, you get so aggravated, like, oh my gosh, again. And then you have to start over again at the beginning, and it can be so aggravating. But we keep doing it because we like it. It's fun. We like that challenge. We like the whatever. You know, it's not like whatever. I'm shutting this game off. I'm never playing a video game again in my life. I'm giving up. Is that an option? Yes. For me, I won't say that's not an option because it is an option. It's there. I refuse, though, to pick that up and take it and say, I'm putting the remote down, I give up. Or I'm putting the basketball down, walking out of this gym, I'm not playing anymore, here's my jersey. No. It's really hard. Fight. Yeah. It's affecting a lot, but it's worth the fight. I'm going to keep fighting because I know that this isn't going to last forever, first of all, but I don't want to look back and be like, man, during that really hard time, I sucked. I was crap. I was lazy. I was mean. I was all kinds of whatever. No, I'd rather look back and be like, man, that was a really tough time of life, but I feel like I got through it pretty well. And I learned a lot throughout that walk of life, you know, through that chapter. So that is my help. I hope for you guys that when we're faced with these obstacles like this one, that is a physical and mental obstacle, and it is immovable. I can't push it out of the way. I can't get rid of it. I cannot do that. I can't eliminate this. Instead of looking at the obstacles, or, you know, right now I have a picture in my mind of like a track, you know, I'm not going to look at these hurdles like I'm staying right here on the start line. I'm not moving at all. I'm going to sit here and do absolutely nothing. And yeah, I'm giving up basically. And I'm also not going to, it's impossible to move them out of the way and just walk straight through. That truly is not an option. So I'm going to try to run. I'm going to run my hardest, and I'm going to jump as well as I can, and I'm going to trip and fall over these hurdles along the way. I already know that. But I'm going to get skin knees, and those skin knees are going to scab over and heal, and I'm going to be strong. I don't even know if this stuff makes sense. Like, what a stupid analogy with the skin knees. I don't think that works. I guess I'm going to leave it in, though, in case it does work. Somebody might be like, yeah, that makes sense, and I'm going to be like, yay! I just hope there's some help. I hope there's something good in this somewhere that is helpful for you guys. I will very heavily be leaning on Jesus, as I do through everything, but I'm going to say it, that I will very heavily be leaning on him, on God's word. My husband has been so sweet through all of this, and my kids. It's nice to feel like you're losing yourself, but have people like, I won't let you lose yourself. you're I don't know what that means. It's good to know that I'm not in the fight alone. I will not have that mindset of, you don't know what this is like. You don't understand. You don't know you're just a kid, or you're a man. You don't know what this feels like. Well, duh, he doesn't know what it feels like. He's never going to know what it feels like. But when I describe how I'm feeling, he is empathetic and he's there. And so it's the same with the kids, and it's the same with my friends, with you guys, I'm sure. Not that you have to be around it, but it's just good to know that, like, okay, yeah, I'm not in this fight by myself, but I've got these people on my team, and that is very helpful. So just like I was talking about with the comments that you guys leave, you know, for you it might seem like it's just like, good job, you know, good job doing that walk. For me, it's, you are motivating and lifting me up in many different areas besides just a 25-minute walk. So I feel like, you know, I'm in this fight. I will fight throughout this entire thing. I'm not going to let the way that I feel inside will not overtake me. I refuse to let that happen. Yeah, I'm the one going through it. I'm the one feeling the things, but everybody has things. Everybody's feeling things. Everybody's going through something. If you're not right now, you will be, and you have in the past. It's just life. But it feels really, really good also to lean on God, to lean on the people that God has blessed you with for help, and that's okay to do that too. Just knowing what's actually going on, a lot of peace has come from that, because not knowing, being like, what's going on, trying to figure it out was super frustrating. But knowing what we're facing, I feel like there's a lot of encouragement in that too. So whatever situation we might be facing, peeking over my shoulder. Don't. Just kidding. Anyway, what I was saying, so I feel like there's a lot of, if we can set our minds right, knowing what we're facing, whatever struggle we might be facing, whatever thing we might be in the middle of, whether it is medical or financial or work related or family related, whatever it might be, knowing what we're facing, I feel like is really helpful, because it's like, okay, I know what I'm dealing with now. I know what I've got going on. I know what I'm working with. Now that I know this, how can I best tackle it? Like, how can I work through this to my best ability? I may not be able to make this go away. I may not be able to fix it. It may not go the way that I want it to go. Whatever, it may not blank, fill in the blank, whatever that might look like. But I know what I'm facing, so what can I do in this? What can I do in what I'm facing? Even if all we can do is work on our attitude towards it, our perspective towards it, even still, what am I able to do to get the most out of this thing that's happening right now? Yeah. I forgot to say that. Okay. Well, that's that. I'm going to go now. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out. If you're here for the premiere, I appreciate that so much. And if you're watching this as the replay, I appreciate that too, because this is a bit more lengthy than a normal video. So I appreciate you watching. Everything that you guys do to support this channel, I appreciate it. When you watch all the videos, when you run a playlist, when you do the thanks, somewhere down here there's a heart and it says thanks. I think it says thanks on it. Anyway, when you guys do those, you're watching the replays, or when you do super chats or memberships or whatever you guys do, it means a lot. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of your kind words. They mean more than you might know. The words that you say go deeper than what you might know.
What are we talking about?
I know. I love you guys, and God bless. I hope to have you back for the next